Possible you guys be like, what's going on with the content? And I'm like, busy, busy, busy. Happy Monday, you all. Hope your week started good so far. Yeah. Hope that you had a tremendous weekend, wonderful, peaceful weekend, and a relaxed weekend. I hope this week brings peace, joy, a paycheck, and all that goodness coming down when it comes to Monday. Yes. And when it comes to Mother's Day weekend coming up as well. If you're a mother right through the year, 365 days of the year, big up your nice clean self. But if you're waiting on that special day to say you're a mother, then shame on ya. Anyway, we have a bunch of things that we want to speak about. And we want to get into the content. Share this live with your mother, your father, your sister, long as they're over the ages of 19 or even 21. Yes. Also, remember to subscribe and comment if you haven't done so far. And just remember to stop on the channel once in a while to see if you could review or to watch whatever you have missing so far. Yeah, because I come on some weird times. So at times there's a content there. And if you don't turn on your notification bell, then you won't see the content or know the content until you physically go on my channel and watch. So have a happy Monday and stay focused. Yes. So we want to get into the content. So I'm sure you guys saw the title, Illegal Abortion Accused Shocked by Pregnancy. Not only that, in this whole ordeal, she didn't want any children. Okay. Remember in the Scotland, Wales, abortion limit is 24 weeks. All right. After that, you will be against the law. And after that, you can be charged. You guys also know the uproar in the UK with the abortion law, who has the right from who don't have the right. Then we also had the same abortion uproar all the way in America as well, where Donald Trump came with his rhetoric and did all kind of things around that. So I have the content here, rather the story, rather the accusation, and the whole ordeal. So I am going to read from the best of my ability. So let's get into the story, people, all the way in the UK. So like I said, the title is Illegal Abortion Accused Shocked by Pregnancy. Okay? So her name is Nicola Packer, is alleged to have known she was past the legal limit when she terminated her pregnancy. So what is the limit? 24 weeks. All right. So let's get into it. A woman who denies having an illegal abortion has told a court she would not have gone through with the termination had she known how far along she was in her pregnancy. Okay. Nicola Packer, 45, took medicine at home to induce a miscarriage on 6th of November 2020. Remember, this case is still going on in the UK as of May 1st. So who said people after 44 and 45 can't get pregnant too? She was pregnant, 45. 45 years old. Could you imagine? So let's get into the story some more. So I repeat, Nicola Packer, 45, took medicine at home to induce a miscarriage on the 6th of November 2020 when she was about 26 weeks pregnant. Her trial has heard the outer limit for abortion in England, Scotland, and Wales is 24 weeks. So remember I told you, after the 24 weeks, you will be charged. Yes? Because remember, she was 26 weeks, 2 weeks over the 24 weeks mark. Okay? We're also going to talk about fetus and all of that in this whole content. Miss Packer told jurors she was shocked and surprised when she discovered the pregnancy was much further along than she thought after delivering the female baby while on the toilet. Earlier, she told the court she did not think she could be pregnant when she took a test and was very shocked to discover she was. The defendant had previously told Isleworth Crown Court that when she took the drugs, she did not believe she was more than 10 weeks pregnant, the legal time limit for at-home termination. So not only that, she is in problem because she's over the 24 weeks. Not only that, it's also illegal to have a in-home termination limit. It's only 10 weeks because you could bleed to death. All kind of issues, you all. She denies unlawfully okay, administering to herself a poison or other noxious thing with the intent to procure a miscarriage. I just felt really bad. I didn't know I was pregnant or that far along, Miss Packer said. Breaking down in tears, she went on. If I had known I was that far along, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have put the baby or myself through it. Miss Packer said that she wrapped the baby in a scarf, but there were no signs of her being alive. The jury previously heard that she took the baby to Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in a backpack the day after taking the medicine. So why are you putting the baby in a backpack? Oh no. Why don't you just call the ambulance there and then when you have the baby on the toilet? Oh no. Let's continue. Where did she bring the baby, guys? To the Westminster Hospital in a backpack. What occurred, guys? She was 26 weeks and the legal termination in the UK, England, or in England, okay, is 24 weeks. And to do an in-home termination, you only got to be 10 weeks. Oh my. Okay? So she basically broke the law 3 different ways. Not only that, she brought the baby in a backpack. Wrap it up in a scarf. Not even a towel. Wrap it up in a scarf. The defendant told jurors that she did not think that she had done anything wrong. Of her arrest on November 8th, she said, I was terrified. I didn't know what was going on. Now, did I say that she didn't want children? I know I don't want children. Miss Packer had earlier told the jury she had never wanted children and that she believed her chances of getting pregnant were basically none due to her age. Remember, people are out here saying people cannot get pregnant. Further down, some people can, people. Long as you're fertile. Long as you're fertile now, you could have some children, right? Let's continue. Asked why she did not believes she was pregnant, Miss Packer told jurors that she had shown no signs as her breasts were not sore, she did not feel sickness or fatigue, and only gained a small amount of weight. She took the pregnancy test on November 2nd after experiencing stomach aches, jury heard. Asked how she felt when it came back positive, Miss Packer said, I was very shocked. She added, as I know I don't want children, I knew I would want a termination. As Packer, then 41 years old, took the prescribed medication, mifepristone, and end up killing the fetus, guys. Okay? So she's 45 now, and she basically had to terminate the pregnancy at 41, 26 weeks, when legal to terminate a pregnancy in a hospital in the England would be 24 weeks, and to terminate it at home will be 10 weeks, and she terminate basically the pregnancy at home at 26 weeks, had the baby on the toilet. Fetus was dead, she claimed. Baby was dead, she claimed, and brought the baby to the hospital in a backpack. Let that sit with you for a minute or two now. Mankind have no love. Mankind have no feeling. Seriously. So if you had a baby, when you had taking the medication at home to have the miscarriage, you didn't know how far along you were, right? So why didn't you not just call the ambulance right away? So these are the things that I'm talking about. So now it's still in court. I will come and tell you guys what the outcome will be. Trial continues. We're going to wait if they find her guilty or not. And that's the story for today. I just came and shouted out because it's been happening for a while. From 2020, it's in trial now. So as soon as we get to the conclusion, a guilty verdict, a not guilty verdict, or a hung juror, or some kind of deal, then I will come and shout it out right here, over here, when it's that time. Moving right on of that now, of essence now, guys. All right? So we're going to get into some more stuff about abortion. Now, guys, we know that a lot of people out here, some people will be like, one condom could have saved you. Some people would shout, your mom should have swallow. Your mom should have spit instead of swallow. All kind of nonsense that these people come with. You have some women out here, sometimes you wonder if they deserve to be mothers. But we can't judge. We only could look and glee and look and pass. Yes, rather kiss our teeth and pass, literally. We have some women, they're out here, they shout that they're mothers, but none of their children are with them. But they do everything in their power, in everybody else's business, but still not worrying about where their children are, not worrying about how to get back those children, are not doing anything of that sort to co-parent, or not doing anything of that sort to have visitation rights. Kiss my teeth and pass. Then you have, especially in the black community, where so at times when men don't give a little no money or anything, they say more time, a man is a deadbeat. But you have lots of women nowadays days. The man have the kids. The kids is on the other side or on the other hand, and they do here, do body, do this, do that, but not paying any child support. So we shout out how comes. Then we have lots of mothers on the other hand, won't let the biological father see their children, but they have Tom and Harry and Dick and Sam and Peter right there around the child. So you shout out, wah wee, wah wah wee, wah 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 wah. Kiss my teeth and pass. So because we're talking about this illegal abortion case that happened in 2020, in trial right now, she had an illegal abortion at the age of 41. Her whole life, she didn't want any children. She said she didn't know or knew that she could have gotten pregnant. She got pregnant at the age of 41, decided to do a home miscarriage of justice by illegal termination of her pregnancy. Okay? Not only that, she did it at home. When it ashed out, when it boiled down to the thickening of the story, we realized that she was 26 weeks, and a legal law of having abortion in the hospital in England is 24 weeks. Not only that, to do a home miscarriage, a home abortion now, quite so, it's 10 weeks. So instead of she had an abortion, she had a miscarriage because when she have taken the medication, she had the baby girl on the toilet. Managed to wrap up the baby in a scarf and brought that baby to the hospital in a backpack. Months later, weeks later, she was charged. Now it reached court, Zion Gates. So when it comes back to a guilty verdict or not guilty or appealed plea deal or mistrial, we're going to have it over here front seat. So wait for that story. If you haven't heard about the story, Nicola Packer is on trial for illegal abortion in the UK or in England of Wales or Wales of England now. Okay? So hold your cup of tea and let's move on, cheerio, cheerio, to the next content. Kiss my teeth and pass. Now, people, let's talk about this abortion some more. We know that abortion was around. In the past, people came and discussed this. Does a fetus consider human being from conception? Is a fetus a human? Remember we said she was 26 weeks pregnant. Remember we shouted out, it's only legal abortion in England, 24 weeks it stopped at. To do a home abortion, 10 weeks it stopped at. So she basically broke 3 rules, break the law right there on charges. So right there now, if you're going to say, or if she's going to say she didn't know she was so far along in her pregnancy, well, they claim scientific evidence supports that life begins at fertilization. So from you know you're pregnant, it's a fetus, in other words. So is she going to be going to jail? This is the new study that came about in 2023. So are you keen when it comes to abortion? Do you believe in abortion? Do you care about an abortion? Do you think she did anything wrong? Are we only here to speculate? It's our own humble opinion. We're going to wait for the court to ash it out. So yes, indeed, they came back with a study to say, is a fetus a human? A fetus is considered a human being from conception as a scientific evidence supports that life begins at fertilization, you guys. So do you believe in that theory? Do you think it's a crazy theory? I am not sure. Running on with this. Then, when we come to abortion again, we have to take it way, 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 way back into all the way back when Egypt came up with this abortion situation. So abortion has a long and complex history, practices and legal frameworks varying significantly across cultures and time period, ancient civilization like those in Egypt. Okay, guys? So all of this came from the 19th century. So abortion never just come now. And from the first abortion that they claim that happened was the 1550 BCE, if you care to know the history of abortion. Then we're also going to rumble on and take it furthermore back into our Black history and drop this one here in our Black history of the abortion, that the racist history of abortion and midwifery bans. So if we're going to talk about abortion, I guess we have to clock it right around the clock. We just can't come and talk about abortion because of the situation, right? And we remind you, when it comes to abortion, it was hard, okay, for even slaves to get rid of their master's baby, okay? Because they were the breeding grounds for the master's workmanship. The more babies you have, the more strong black men you have on that farm. Okay, guys? So we had to go all the way back into that. All the way back, all the way back. Okay? All right? All right? So these are the things that we're talking about. It had a long, complex history. Also brought us to that. Not only that, when it comes to the mortality rate of black women dying in having childbirth. Remember, I tell you this now. So if you don't know that there's a mortality rate of black women dying in childbirth, it's a shame. And we don't come and talk about that in the black community. Okay? So if you didn't know that, you learned something today. All right? Okay, guys? So I had to bring all of that. Not only that, because we're talking about the UK and we're talking about England, guys, we also want to kick it up a notch, all right? And talk about the reason why this came across, even in court, because like I said, there is an uproar, okay, when it comes to abortion ban in the UK and all over in many countries. So let's get to England, London, the UK, England, because of this case and everything else that sum up this whole content or this whole topic. So let's get to it for a second, okay? Please and thanks. At this moment, please use your ears. I can't show that much, but I just want you guys to listen. Thank you so much.
Babies that could have a chance at life were murdered.
A person is a person, no matter how small.
A woman's body is not up for political debate.
After 50 years, Roe versus Wade was overturned in the US, the landmark case that gave women the constitutional right to an abortion.
Constitution does not confer a right to abortion.
There have been mixed reactions from lawmaking MPs here.
They think that women have an absolute right to bodily autonomy in this matter, whereas I think in the case of abortion, that right is qualified by the fact that another body is involved. But this is a proper topic for political debate.
And now people are wondering if something similar to Roe versus Wade could happen here in the UK. So we're on our way to meet a young woman called Sam. She terminated 2 pregnancies when she was in her early 20s, and since then she's been campaigning to end the stigma around abortion.
I'm very, very pro-choice, pro-abortion, actually. If I'm going to be specific, I may as well put that title on it. I think people take for granted that they think it's easily accessible and it's a human right, and it's a lot more fragile than people think.
How protected and how safe do you think the women's right to abortion is in this country?
It could be much safer. It could be much safer. It's not enshrined in law. It's enshrined in...
So is it? Is it much safer? Is it, guys? Is it much safer if this lady is on trial right now to have an abortion? Is it much safer right now if this lady is on trial for doing an illegal abortion at 26 weeks? So does a woman have a right to do an abortion no matter how far she is in the pregnancy? Do you think it's right for someone to have an abortion over 24 weeks? Do you think you put your life at risk to have an abortion over 12, 14, 16 weeks? Especially a home abortion. So you want a backlog of this story? Do you want me to really get back into the story? Well, like I said, the story is the fact that this lady is on trial, got charged in 2020. Yes? For an illegal abortion, home abortion of 26 weeks. She told the courts, she told the police, she didn't know that she was so far along. What is the cutoff timing or weeks in England? 24 weeks. How much weeks she were? She was 26 weeks. Where did she do the abortion? At home. What is the cutoff weeks to do an abortion at home? 10 weeks. So do you think with all of this uproar of abortion and all of these kind of laws that have been passing when it comes to abortion, do you think that women really have a right to do an abortion? In many, many countries, see America change their law when it comes to abortion. See, UK right now put you in jail if you do an abortion at 26 weeks over the mark of 24 weeks. So does women really have a right to their bodies? And do you think the more abortion we have, the more kids out here won't die from the hands of their mother, their fathers? Or do you guys think the more abortion out here, do you guys think that then the mothers won't leave the children in the mercy of the world and go look at work, drunker? In other words, as Blam them would shout. What do you guys think, yeah? Or do you guys think that the less children we have out here, the less dirty mama and dirty papa we have to deal with? What do you guys think? Okay, guys, so does a woman really have a right to her body or to abortion? Let's get into this some more, and we're going to kiss our teeth and move on some other topics, yeah?
Criminal law, we don't have the human right to abortion at any time in any case at all. It still has to be signed off by 2 doctors. You still have to prove that it's medically needed.
And do you think progress has been made in this country?
Some progress, but I don't think we've pushed hard enough for it to be removed from criminal law. It doesn't make sense that we're still being governed by laws from the past.
We are a very different country to America, and in reality, it's unlikely we'd ever go the same way. But despite the fact that over 200,000 abortions were performed here in 2021, technically, women in England and Wales can still be prosecuted for terminating a pregnancy.
What did I say? So do I need to drag out the story anymore? You feel where I'm coming from? You know why I had to come and bring this kind of topic? Yes, we do like mix up at times, but we talk about real life issues what are going right now. We see how so many careless mothers are out here. And then we have some people, I know when we have mothers nowadays days, can't even have children. And then we see the big pharmaceutical with their IVF, and we're just going to kiss our teeth and don't even drag on that. We see nowadays days, you don't even need a man nowadays days really to say this is my partner to have children. We realize in the Caucasian world now, a lot of women are having children without having a man to stand. Then we get to understand that we saw in the Brat situation where she went to the sperm bank and there was only one black man. She claims that he was short like a dwarf, so she ended up having a white child. Remember that story? And then we have men out here that are pollinating the whole nation and then being a deadbeat. And then we have mothers out here that have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all kind of kids, and I do up them body and I do all kind of hairdo and don't know where the children them are. And then you have lots of women out here and men that have kids and they scatter like corn grains, scatter like wild shots. And then we have the women them out here and the men them out here have their children, and they grow these children to be so savage, barbaric, selfish, no love. And then they're out here killing some innocent people out here who really out here raise their children. And then we had a whole thing in the black community. The whole nation, it takes a whole village to raise our children. But nowadays days, we can't even really say that much about people's children other than when we're rubbing each other. People talk about people's children, but yet still at the end of the day, when it comes to come together, make the children them read somewhere, set some example, it's bleaky and dark in the black community. Because nowadays days, black children are looking at entertainers as role models, not in their household as their mom and their dad. Yeah? Remember, the first role model in your children's life should be you, the parent. And remember, you should always be a parent first and a friend last. Because you want them to trust you. You want them to come and speak to you. But they're not really your friends. They're your children and you're the parent. So the rules and regulation come first turn. So they can reach somewhere in life. Because remember, say, Jailhouse not belong to dog. And see El Salvador. Remember we came and dropped that content way before everybody's talking about it. That you could send any prisoner there for a small fee. And when we came and spoke about the jail cell again, what did we talk about the prison? Free labor. And what did we come and talk about the prison again? People are buying stocks and bonds on your children that you spoil in today's society. Not only that, not shying from the content, not shying from the topic. Remember when abortion came about in the 19th centuries now? All the way in the 19th century, they had their abortion. Right? All the way. The first abortion was 1550 BC. Okay? Not only that, it's from Egypt with their whole Asian practices. And remember, abortion stemming from herb and herbal for people to have abortion when there's a situation of that sort. Okay? Not only that, when it came to the 1851, in the 19th century, there were slaves, and slaves never have no right. When it comes to the Fugitive Slave Act, when it comes to the Slave Act, that black woman didn't have a right to go and have an abortion when they were raped. Remember, they were raped, beaten, choked. The things that you guys are practicing now in the bedroom, the things that you guys are beating Shannon Sharpe for choking and sodomy, and sodomy, and all of those things in your a-hole. Black women wasn't allowed to do an abortion after they were brutally raped by their master that they didn't want to have kids with, that they were brutally raped by their brothers, that they were brutally raped by their sons. Because remember, back in the days in slavery, everybody's sleeping with each other, like how now not practicing nastiness in the bedroom, the threesome and foursome. That's what the slave master taught you guys now. But now you guys say, yep, freak up the bedroom. Yeah, man for this, yeah. One man this and all woman this, and the whole lifestyle that you guys come out here and practice. Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? So if we're really going to talk about abortion, then we had this whole thing where black women couldn't even practice their rights of abortion. And not only that, that's how the midwife came about, because remember, black stay there, white stay here. So when it came to the hospital back then, where are you going as a Negro in there to have your child? So you better wall a midwife. See where we're going with this? So does women really have a right to abortion? And do you believe in abortion? And if you do, how come? Shout it out in the comment section. And at the end of the day, when you really think about it, when you think about it, abortion now is a population control, same as birth control. But more time we shout it out, because a lot of you have these careless mothers that sometimes they shouldn't have the children them out here because they have them at the mercy of the world. They're not teaching the kids them nothing. They can't feed them. Remember, basic necessities of life are food and shelter. Some of these girls out here without the TikTok, without doing something out of the way, they can't provide. Okay? Not only that, black women used to push out children at the rate of who say who they are or who's here. By the time you say, and your mark, get set, go. Now black women say, I want slim waist, stiff breasts, and flat belly. The black community is going right down with the population, knowing that they're dying out here by the rate of how cars pass on the road. Yes? Remember, black woman is not having 5, 6, 7 kids no more. Remember, they're having 1 and 2 and stop. Remember good. Remember nowadays you'll be gleed if you hear a black woman shout out, I have 5 children. Sometimes they have 5 and they're telling you they have 1. And at times you have black women that have 6, 5, 4 children and they only have 1 running around with, and they claim that they're mothers. Yes? Lots of black women children has gone into the system. So do you think that abortion is to control the population? Or you think women have a right to do what they want to do, to dash out the kid when they want to. Not only that, also in the black community, back in the days, if you go and do an abortion, people look at you like you're the worst dog the boat. Now, it's a pride. Me dash your belly and so what? Me hate the boy, so me dash your the belly. And these are the things that black women come out here now to come triumph on. So we talk about morals and we talk about shame. All of those kind of things. So if you take up yourself now and a dash your belly just like that now, and think it's something kiki kaka and come out here, well, remember the history. Remember what it was profound upon. Remember all of these kind of things and these sinister things that brought abortion onto this world and onto this land, that right now people are really coming up with laws what people should do with their body. So just remember, you can be locked up if you commit an abortion. And just remember, at the end of the day, a fetus is a human. From you conceive, it's a human being. So we shout out, murderer, blood is on your shoulder. Kill I today, you're gonna kill I tomorrow. Is that so? Don't believe that because you claim, say, oh, it's 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. It's nothing there, it's just blood. Well, they claim from August 15, 2023, a fetus is considered a human being from conception. So what do you say, black folks? Not only that, we're out here with shout out pregnancy. We're out here having children under rate, as you can see from TikTok. You have mothers nowadays days that when they have children, they come out here and bring down all the fathers them that they can bring down. When they bring down the father, you hear, him no send no money. Him never send no milk. He can't buy any diapers. So you sit down and you add up the whole situation and you add and you start to subtract. When you didn't meet him, was he working? Subtract. When you and him were together, could he have buy sugar and bread? Subtract. When you guys were running around, who was buying the clothes, the food and everything? Me. So you shout out, kiss me teeth and pass. So when you breed for him now, is he able to buy bread, sugar, milk, formula, Pampers, and diaper, and a stroller? Nope. So you make your bed, you lie in it. Not only that, you have some of you women out here again, that you guys are having children, and they don't have it on the mercy of the world. Here's my registry. See the registry list here? Buy this from Amazon, and I want this, and I want that. So you have all aunties and uncles and cousins of the worlds, but you guys are not close to your family member who are biological auntie, uncles, and cousins. Kiss me teeth and pass. So I will shout out what can go so and what can go so. I am not sure. So do we really have children nowadays days to love them, to cherish them? Or we have children to gain the leverage of the world and to gain the mercy of the world, or to gain attention that we're seeking that we never got when we're a child? Kiss me teeth and pass. So if we're going to talk about abortion and we're going to talk about this whole case, we got to wrap up everything in one. What says you? Okay? Run it on quick and fast. We're not staying long because, like I said, the idle mind is the devil's playground. Isn't it not? So we want to shout out and we want to run to the missing. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? Where have you gone? Missing. In Ontario, Canada, where have you been? If anybody see this young man, shout out 647-515-4087. Just imagine your loved one has gone. Now, we did come and shout out our content in the past about the missing black boys in Ontario, Canada, that nobody cared about. Remember that case? I've been shouting shit up. I've been shouting out here, you know, but people don't see. You guys don't really like the positive content, or like the baga yaga waga waga daga daga daga. But we can't go about that every day now. You understand? So, you know the story that I've been speaking about in the past. I have spoken about in the past about the missing black boys have no TV coverage. Possibly is he part of this one? I am not sure. Possible. They claim that they're runaways. Not only that, one of the officers said that sometime when these black children run away, they end up, or they're missing, they end up in gang related story, and they end up out here doing crimes for big dusty rusty men who's supposed to set an example. Is that true? I am not sure. I'm going to shout out allegedly. Don't mix me. I am just a messenger. So he's missing. Send out a prayer, please, and thanks. If you know about his whereabouts, please call 911 or call the number at the contact below. Yes? Running on, guys. Monday. Wow, the beginning of the week. Time is going so fast. Time waits for no one. Yeah? I want to shout out some other things before we get into the rest of the content, shall we? So I want to talk about some other things. No, we want to say, like I said, it is Monday, isn't it? Beginning of the week. Oh my. Like I said, time waits for no one. And then today we're here and tomorrow we're gone. Now we want to say a big thank you for those who wait patiently and pack some patience when I'm not around, and you know I'm coming with the raw deal. And you know when I come with the content, I talk a lot. But remember, I always come with wisdom and knowledge. I don't know it all, but the only thing I got to share with you is wisdom and knowledge with facts check and receipt. So we don't play with it, we don't play with it, we don't play with it. So thank you so much, and a big thank you for waiting. And when I come, you're like, yo, shidaya yo. Big thank you. I really appreciate you for dropping by. Now a big respect from my loyal subscribers, from I was on the scene before and come back on the scene. You're always a good Adrian out here, no matter where I go. Big up your nice, clean self. I respect you. Now running on, people. With all of that said, guys, yes? Let's get into some more of the content, okay? Because more time I have to give you guys a breather, yes? So I had to shout out all of those things within the same content. Joshua, big up, respect, my brother. And you're here, and that respect always go for you. And the 1 and 2s, they're always here. I appreciate you. Now, running on, my man, Joshua, always here. Let's get into some more of the content, yes? All right, guys. So we want to talk about... Let's talk about some more things, yes? So we want to talk about U.S. jury, 30 million verdict brings hope for Cuban exiles over confiscated land. So did you guys remember about that story? Let me fill you guys in right here. Come in and play with it. So remember the time of Castro, how the people them shack was taken away, the fishermen them were brutally beaten and all of them things. Well, yeah, yo, remember all of that happened, and they took away their land, and there was a big problem, and they came with the all-inclusive mega resort hotels and take away the people them stuff and that they're doing in Jamaica right now. Well, there was a big lawsuit, and the Cuban them say, yo, we're not playing with it, we're not playing with it, we're not playing with it. Remember the owner of Cayo Coco? Well, they come back and say, thank you, please and thanks, right? So they came back and said, thank you, with that content, all right? And they said right now, I'm not sure why this is not. 1 second. God is good all the time. Seriously, Joshua, God is good all the time. Now, I am not sure why this is not clicking on, but they came out and, okay, there we go. So they came out and they got their lawsuit, and they got their money because they took away their dwelling, they took away their shack, and feel like the people them were gonna go away. Now they got their big money. I'm not sure why the stuff them are not shown on the screen, but if they don't show on the screen, then I'm just gonna jump off of this live like hopscotch, kiss my teeth, and save all of this other topic for another live when I come around. Hopefully everything else show. Now, see, it's not showing, guys. I'm not sure why. Holy smokes. Let me see if I could drop a next one in it. Not showing. I can see it, so that means that you guys can see it, right? That's not nice. I don't know why my screen is kind of blank for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this live because I can't show you guys anything else. I'm not sure why it's not showing unless you guys are seeing it and I'm not seeing it. Let me try to press something else. And if it doesn't show, I would have to just jump off of this and come back another time. Okay, let me just press something else. I don't know why it's not showing.